What is good, guys, man? Thank you for tuning back into the channel, man. If you're new, make sure you hit that sub button down below to be notified for every single video that I do drop, man. And how you know you're notified, man, is when you hit that subscribe button. You're going to always hit that bell. And once you hit that bell, make sure you press all. Also, go follow the Instagram. The link is down below in the description. We are almost at 100 followers. Once we get to 100 followers, we're going to start dropping some awesome content, y'all. Now, listen, I'm going to put the link down below to their description. To their YouTube channel. And also they have a TikTok. I'm gonna put both of those down. Y'all go support them, man. They gave me permission to react to this video. But you see what the title is? It says 4 days after her grandpa's funeral, she saw his spirit outside in front of her grandparents' house. By the looks of this video, this looks like it's gonna be a movie. So without further ado, let's tune into this movie. Let's get it, man. This gonna be epic. It's gonna be crazy.
A woman had spent the last 15 minutes frantically searching for her car keys inside her grandparents' home. Frustrated and running out of patience, she finally gave up and stepped outside, only to be hit with something that would haunt her forever. Standing just beyond the steps was a man. At first glance, he looked familiar, too familiar. Her breath caught in her throat. He looked exactly like her papa, the same posture, the same walk, the same face, and he was wearing the exact same outfit her grandfather had on in the framed photo sitting in the den. But that wasn't possible. Her papa's funeral had been just 4 days ago. She froze. He tipped his hat at her and waved from the corner. She was so overwhelmed, she couldn't move. Locked out of the house, unable to get back in without her keys, she had two options: run to the car or brace for what felt like a ghost walking toward her. In that moment, she wasn't sure what was real, but she knew she would never forget it.
Yes, I do believe that I was supposed to see him that day, and who knows, he may have been preventing something from happening. I have noticed a couple of comments where people...
Everybody go subscribe to her TikTok, Kim So Blessed. Y'all see it right there, Kim So Blessed.
Mentioned the burnt toast theory, which essentially like minor inconveniences that will happen in order to prevent a larger disaster. And this is something that I've actually experienced in the past. I used to work for this clothing brand named Dress Barn. I'm not sure if they're still around, but I worked for them, and their office was based out of Suffern, New York. So on my way to work one day, my mom was actually driving my car and she was going to drop me off. We decided to take a back road, which I believe was Route 17 or like Orange Turnpike. If you're familiar with Interstate, was it 287? I could have it wrong because I haven't been there in a while. Either 287 or 87. If you're familiar with that, then you might know what I'm talking about. But on the way to work, there was a truck carrying tree logs, and I mean like not the small ones, like the long ones, like whole trees basically. And those tree logs started falling off of that truck. When I tell you Final Destination, I was like, okay. We did not leave the house at the right time, but thankfully we did. The tree logs, I don't even know if it hit the person right after us, because we sped off. But if anyone remembers that, I'm not sure if it was in the news. Comment below, let me know if you were like in the area or whatever, if you've heard about it. But that has happened back in 2003, 2004-ish. There was also a car pileup that we just missed, and that was when we lived in Maryland. So I don't know, maybe it's fate. And here's the car pileup that I was talking about when we were going back to Maryland from New York. And now that I'm looking at it, it's actually the same date as when my grandfather passed away, but this was 2004, he passed away 2021. So yes, I do have a picture of my grandfather wearing this outfit. In the picture, it's only like half the outfit that you'll see, but I do have that picture and I'm gonna include it in this video. I also wanted to mention in the ring video, I'm gonna also include the date, but you'll be able to see that it says October 29th. And his funeral was on October 26th. So actually it was on October 25th. So this was 4 years ago. It was in 2021. And yeah, so here you go. Okay, so right here you can see the date is October 29th. And over here you can see October, yeah, you see it, October 25th, 2021. So it was 4 days after. And here is the picture of my grandfather. So y'all let me know if I saw him. I don't know, obviously, because he didn't say anything to me. However, it was very odd, and my grandfather was the type of person that would wear, you know, full on suits going out. And he always dressed like this. The guy had the same walk. When he got to the corner, you can't see it in the video because at that time we didn't have a Ring camera on the side of the house. But when he got to the corner, I was already in the car, and I had looked in my mirror and I could see him like do this with his hat, like tip his hat, and he smiled and then just walked away. So it was very creepy. Since then we see him every Christmas, which is very crazy. I have videos and pictures of that as well. We've heard him in the house several times. Got videos of that. Yeah, we got the proof. Okay, we got the Nest cams, we got the Ring camera, because after that we were like, hold up, something ain't right. But yes, I do have pictures and I have a video. I have a couple of videos. The videos that I have, or the one that I'm going to share right now, is a video of me outside of my grandparents' house, and I'm filming the window because we keep seeing my grandfather's face in the window, typically around like holidays, like Halloween or Christmas, because we have lights outside. All right, so let me show you the first video, and then I'm going to show you a picture zoomed in. Okay, here's the video. So look like right up here. You'll start to see a face right
Don't say it. Don't say it. He likes looking at the tree.
here. All right, so this happened back in November of 2023. And by this time, we had already seen my grandfather several times.
Y'all comment down below if y'all seen
And
a
my
face.
mom was in the house by herself at the time. So yeah, she was freaking out. She had already heard him like yell out my grandmother's name. She's, heard different things going on in the house. So she put the Nest cams up. But yeah, so now the next thing you're going to see is a picture that's zoomed in. Well, it's right here. This picture, if you look, hold on. If you look right, okay, right here, right here, you can see. So if you look right there, you can see a face. If you look at the previous picture that I posted of my grandfather, looks just like his face. And let me show you another one. All right, and here is another one. Oops. All right, so if you look where the circle is, you can see the same face again.
I'm not seeing it. Y'all comment down below if y'all. I'm not seeing it at all.
All right, so the video was taken November of 2023. The picture with the red circle was December of 2022, and the picture with the green circle was May of 2023. And I know that because I had texted my brother, and yeah, so I have, I was letting him know, and he was making jokes about it. So yeah, that's what I have. And then of course I have like Nest cam videos in the house. So, we've heard him singing around the house. He always used to sing opera all the time. And he always used to do this thing where he would be like, hey, hey, hey. And I actually caught that on camera as well. So I'm going to see if I can find those videos, and then I will share them with you. So you probably are seeing more than one face. I had actually taken this picture here a couple years ago, and I had noticed a woman's face when I, looked at a picture of my great grandmother. It seemed to look just like her. So here's a picture of my great grandmother, and here's a picture of what I saw in the window right here. Oh my goodness. Okay, right here. So I don't know. Let's just say that the house is haunted because, yeah. And I also
Definitely
saw
gotta be
this
haunted for
hand,
sure.
which kind of reminded me of what I saw when I was in Savannah, Georgia. I took a picture of like just the fence in front of a cemetery, and I saw something that's similar to this. But this, as you can see, is in the window. And this was also taken on December 24th of
I can see
2024.
something right there for sure.
And this is the hand that I was talking about, that I had seen in Savannah, Georgia. So as you can see, it says Savannah, Georgia, and it was March 22nd of 2015.
I can see
So
that for sure right
that
there.
reminded me of what I had seen there.
What do you all think? Was it just a coincidence? Or could she really be feeling the presence of her grandfather's spirit? She also shares other chilling paranormal encounters from her past. Have you ever experienced something supernatural? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content like this.
So it's really interesting that you said this, because ever since I was younger, I would see ghosts, all different types, like full body apparitions, shadow figures, transparent ghosts, like what I had seen this morning. I don't know who it was. I couldn't see a face. I just saw like the outline of a body. And that I would say that happens more frequently than anything else. And I would also have a lot of premonitions. So I've got a couple of stories on premonitions and all those things. And I've also seen full body apparitions, and that actually happened, I want to say twice. The first time was back when I was in high school, and I can get into that one a little bit later. And then the most recent one was 2022. I think 2022. Prior to that was when I moved to Georgia in 2013. And yeah, that one was crazy. But, anyways, and I also saw one when I was working at a school in Poughkeepsie called Dutchess Community College. So I'll definitely get into that one as well, because I actually found out some history about that school and the building that I was actually working in. So, yeah. So I do have a couple of videos to show y'all from the Nest Cam. I did get the permission from my parents, so they're okay with me sharing it. They were sitting downstairs in the den where my grandfather would always sit, and they were sitting on the couch watching a movie, and you'll hear them say something, and then you're gonna hear something fall down, and that's a picture frame falling down in the dining room, which is upstairs. And my grandmother was in the house at the time, but she's all the way upstairs, and she doesn't even, she can't get out the bed, so it wasn't her. And that picture has been sitting up, on the stand for years, maybe like 20 years. So they don't know what happened, how it happened. There was no earthquake, because I even said it was probably an earthquake. So we still don't know what it was, but here's the video. This is becoming too much. It fell right on top. Watch this. Right there. Richard. All of these years, nothing is in there moving. So why did the picture fall? Whoa.
I had to turn the volume up for y'all.
I'm not messing with y'all.
Nobody. We're like, what was that?
I don't do the spooky dooky stuff.
What? Now that could have been a coincidence. I don't know. Let's rewind that. Hold up. Tell me what y'all think. Yeah, this crazy. I see that picture on that stand right there.
All right, so y'all let me know y'all thoughts down there in the comments. But if you are a medium and you could tell me if I got something going on, like some sort of like powers or something, let me know. Thank you. Okay, so this is going to be the official start of the story time for when I moved to Georgia in June of 2013. This is actually the most scariest experience that I've ever had in my life. But then again, it hasn't happened again, thankfully, and I pray that it does not happen again. So let's get started. So, moved to Georgia, June of 2013. I had started working at a company in Alpharetta, and before even moving to Georgia, I had looked at different apartments like in the area, or at least I thought it was the area. I had picked Duluth, Georgia to look for apartments. I did find this, really cute apartment that I wanted to stay at. When I got there, I signed the lease and got the keys. As I was, checking through everything, I noticed that the electricity wasn't coming on, and there was also a lot of like water all over the floor. So I'm like, this is not okay. So I went back to the office. My mom was actually with me. So we went to the office, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to stay here because I was already on the road for like so long. I didn't move anything into the apartment, but I just didn't feel like going through the headache. So I was like, okay, let me, can I break my lease? They were okay with it. Because they didn't even like do their part. They had to do something on their end, and with the water issue, I'm like, this is unacceptable. So the same day, I was like, okay, let me just find something that's closer to work because, again, I was working in Alpharetta. So I decided to look in Sandy Springs, and the place that I looked at was only, I think, 1 or 2 exits away. So I found this really cute apartment. I thought it was nice. It was gated. It was in my budget. Back then, apartments were cheap, so my rent was only $650. Yeah, that's unheard of today. It felt safe, and it was also like a secluded area. So I'm like, okay, this is really cute for it to be the first apartment that I'm about to move into. Let me sign the lease because I need a place to stay. I started work on Monday, and it was like Friday at that point. So I toured that place, loved the place, moved in same day, and everything was fine. Until, look, if y'all live in Georgia and you live specifically around trees, I was not fine. But I didn't have a choice, and that was my only option at that point because I already signed the lease and I was already waiting for my deposit to come back from the other place. So I was really low on money. So yeah, they had bats flying around, which was crazy. I'm like, okay, this is Georgia. This is what we have going on out here. On top of that, I remember I was like blowing up the air mattress, and this is like completely a side story. But I was blowing up the air mattress, and I'm like, why does it feel like something's looking at me? Like, it felt like something was staring at me out of the corner of my eye. I looked in the kitchen. There is a water bug looking at me from the floor. I was like, well, I mean, what could I do at that point, right? Nothing. So yeah, that I'm not even gonna talk about that because I don't like water bugs at all. So that apartment, I thought that apartment was going to run me out of there because of the water bugs. But no, actually ran me out of the apartment is what I'm about to tell you that happened a few months later. So now it's October, my birthday month, and I'm like, you know what? I want to do something nice for myself. I decided to go down to the Atlanta Humane Society, and I said, okay, let me go ahead and adopt, a pet. I decided on this one cute little cat, and I named her Milani. And yeah, so I got a cat, and that was my birthday gift to myself. My birthday passed, and now I'm like, okay, well, my mom is about to come out because Thanksgiving is coming up in a few weeks. So I was really excited to see my mom because I haven't seen her since she dropped me off back in June. So I was really excited for her to fly down and hang out with me because she was going to be there for like a week or two. Fast forward to November, and out of nowhere, my back started burning. And when I say burning, it's like it was on fire. And I had no idea why. I didn't do anything different. Like, I wasn't working out. I wasn't lifting anything heavy, like nothing. And it just started burning out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, what is that about? I was literally trying everything. Like, I bought some Bengay. I tried a heating pad. Like, Nothing was working. So I am not a fan of taking medicine. So, by the time I decided to go to the doctor, it had already been like 2 weeks. And that was after basically nothing was working. So I went to the doctor and explained, like, my back has been burning, like literally feeling like it's on fire for the past 2 weeks. And I don't know why. Haven't done anything differently. I did get a cat, but I mean, is a cat gonna make your back burn? Like, I mean, if I was allergic to it, I don't even think that would happen. I would probably break out in, hives or something, but not burning. Like, that's wild. When I tell you my doctor tested me for everything, he literally tested me for everything. He even said, let me test you for shingles. And I'm like, shingles? Isn't that something that like older people get? He's like, well, I mean, that could explain why your back is burning. Shingles, everything came back negative. So I'm like, okay, at this point, what's going on? So now the doctor is like, okay, well, you've already tried Bengay, you've tried a heating pad, try a cold compress and see if that helps, or try taking like a cold shower and see if maybe the water would help if it's cold. So by now it's like mid-November, and it's been about a week since I've been to the doctor. Up until this point, nothing has been helping me to like get rid of that burning sensation on my back. So I was just sticking it out, going to work like normal, and just doing whatever I had to do. So now it's maybe about a week away from Thanksgiving, and I started noticing that as I was getting home, I kept smelling the smell of cologne, and I'm like, what is that? Like, I don't wear cologne. Like, I wear perfume, but there's no man in my house. So what's going on? So I was like, okay, well, I know I use air fresheners. So let me just check those and see if maybe they've run out, if I need to change them. I switched all of them. And the scent that I used to use was like Clean Linen or Fresh Linen by Glade. So now that I've changed all of the air fresheners, I'm like, okay, everything is fine. Go to sleep, go to work. The next day, right, when I get home from work, I'm smelling cologne again. And at this point, antennas go up because I'm like, nah, something is off. So stay tuned to find out what happened next. All right, y'all, part 2. So now, where we left off was I was smelling cologne in my apartment. I switched out my Glade air fresheners because I figured, maybe they're running out of scent or something was going on with them. So I switched them out. And now my antennas went up. Okay. So I was like, okay, what can I do? Because I need to investigate. And I'm not home because I was working from 12 to 9. So I decided that I was going to put up a camera. So I used my laptop, left my laptop on the kitchen counter, and pressed record. So now it's the next day. I went to work. So I started working at 12 o'clock, got off at 9. And then I went downtown because I was like, you know what? If I'm going to have to investigate, I'm going to need some food. Okay, because whatever I was about to find on that camera, yeah, I needed to eat. And don't judge me, okay? Because I was stressed that day. I got cursed out over a SIM card by a customer over the phone. The last thing I wanted to do was go home and smell more cologne, okay? So yes, yeah. So I went downtown to Checkers when there used to be a Checkers on 10th Street. Yeah, I went down there, got me some wings. And back then, that Checkers on 10th Street was like Cookout, how Cookout is now, or how Cookout used to be anyway. And for the people that are not from Atlanta or don't live here, I'm basically just saying that Cookout is like the hangout spot, or back then Checkers was like the hangout spot. So if you had a nice car, if it was flashy, you were there. But in my case, I was just being a big bag. Anyways, so now I get back home. It's about 10:15 because I had to drive all the way back from the city. And I noticed that my laptop that I left on the counter wide open was closed. So now I'm like, okay, let me not think the worst, because I did see that the cat jumped up onto the counter. So I'm like, maybe it's possible that she just closed it by accident. However, I did make sure to go to my kitchen and, of course, get what I needed to get to walk around my apartment and make sure that nobody was in there. So nobody was there, and I, ate my food, watched some TV, made sure the door was locked, and by the time I was ready to go to bed, it was maybe midnight. I made sure to put the security bar at the door, and this is an actual picture of the door with the security bar, and you can see that this was January 26th of 2014. I also double checked the balcony because I did have a balcony in my bedroom. So now I'm,
Whoa.
back in the living room, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't even want to go to sleep in my room. I just want to sleep on the couch. So, I had my TV going because
You
I didn't
gotta get
have
a
a TV in my
thumbnail. Don't
room.
laugh.
So, fell asleep on the couch. At this point, I've already been asleep for about 3 hours. I woke up because it felt like something was in the room with me. It was
Nah, that ain't it.
3:02 a.m.
She got something
As
going
soon
on.
as I open my eyes, I'm looking at a man, tall man, dressed in all black, not looking at me, but walking from my bedroom to the front door. Now, as he walked past me, I started smelling that cologne again. It was like a brush of wind, and I'm like, oh snap. Okay, so this is where the couch is. This is the couch. This is the door here. So you see how close I was? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. So here, this is the view from the front door looking towards the bedroom. So the bedroom is where the light is, and then the couch is over here on the left-hand side. So where he was walking was from right here straight into the bedroom and back. Yeah, imagine, right? Now, I'm expecting for it to turn around and come back immediately because I'm like, the bar is at the door. Where is he going? Now, I did have a closet at the front door, but you would be able to hear if the closet door opened. I heard nothing. The way that I packed my closet next to that door, there's no way that anybody can get in there because it was jam packed. I moved all the way from New York. There was no room. Now, it did take me a minute to open that door because I was terrified. I'm like, if somebody just walked from my bedroom to my front door and there's a security bar at my door, the only other place they can be is in the closet. Now, I do remember taking a screenshot on my phone. This is not the phone, obviously, because this is 2025. That happened back in 2013. So I don't even, I would have to look in storage to even find that phone. If I do, then I'll share the screenshot. But only thing I can do at that point was just like try to understand what was going on. So I texted my parents and I'm like, I just saw a man walking from my bedroom to my front door, but he's gone. It's something's not making sense. And immediately they're like, "Oh, you're probably just dreaming. Just go back to sleep. Nothing is there. Nothing is there. You have the bar at the door." So after about 10 minutes, I finally decided I'm just going to get up. If something's in my closet, I'm just going to have to face it, and it's just going to have to be what it is. Finally opened up the closet door. There was nothing in there but all of my stuff. And again, there's no way that anybody can fit in that closet. Now, although it seemed so real, I'm, starting to second guess myself like, okay, maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe I'm seeing things at this point because it's not possible. Like, how is this happening right now? And he's just vanished into thin air. Like, how do you walk through a wall? However, I did turn on all the lights in the apartment. So at this point, I'm just sitting on the couch because I'm like, I need to know what's going on. I need to see everything that's happening around me. I don't want to go to sleep. I just want to stay awake. But at the same time, I just went to sleep maybe 3 hours before. So I had to go back to sleep. So now about 20 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to lay down. I fell asleep. 3:27 a.m., I get woken up by the same man walking through my apartment, but this time he's now walking from the front door into my bedroom. I get up and I'm like, oh yeah, nah, this cannot be real. Because I get up and I follow him. I know that sounds crazy, but I get up and follow him because I'm like, the bar is at the door. Where is he coming from? I get up and follow him. I see him walk into my bathroom. That was it. That was it for me.
Would have
So
been it
by
for me too,
now,
baby.
sleep was not an option. It was not even on the agenda. The only thing I could think of to do was to leave the apartment, and I did just that. I walked outside, got in my car, and stayed in my car. I parked right in front of the building so I could look up, even though I didn't want to look up. But I was right in front of the building, sat in my car, and I was in that car all the way up until the morning time. I called my parents back, and I'm like, look, I saw this thing again for the second time within 20 minutes. Like, there's no way. I'm like, how is he walking through a wall And disappearing like that, that just doesn't happen. This is not a person. Now they're like, okay, well, maybe something's going on. Just get out of the house. So that's what I did. So the next morning, well, the same morning basically, because it was 3:27 in the morning, I went back inside the house because I needed to get ready for work. I was terrified, but I had to do what I had to do. So went inside, and I'm on the phone with my mom, and she's like, okay, like, you saw that the man or whatever it was disappeared. There's nothing in there. Just pray and you'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, well, when you come here, just make sure you bring some holy water. So for the rest of that week, I stayed with some friends because I was not comfortable staying in that apartment at all.
Part 3, we gotta get into part 3, man. Now that was crazy. That was crazy, man. Every story she told, she got something following her at this point. You know what I'm saying? From her grandpa to her grandmother to her moving into an apartment and seeing a shadow figure with cologne on walking around the house. There's definitely something attached to her. I don't know what it may be, but y'all comment down below exactly what y'all think, man. That was crazy. That was so crazy. Yeah, man, y'all comment down below what y'all think, man. Listen, go subscribe to their channel, their YouTube channel, man. And she also has a TikTok. I'm gonna go find her TikTok, man. Definitely gotta find her TikTok and see what that part 3 is at, man. But y'all comment down below what y'all think. At the end of my videos, I always say stay inspired, stay motivated, stay grind. Till next video, I'm out of here. Peace.